everything that we need to take, he teaches.
Is that what it is?
Which switches every semester. So
At
this
5:30, at 5:30.
Okay.
Marketing class today.
Okay. All right. Well, this is good. For those that don't know me, my name is Michelle Dawes Birt. I am founder and CEO of my brand called Real Chicks Rock. And the last time I was here, a couple of people went online, they Googled it, they went to the website. I have a website. You can check it out. What I do is I empower, inspire, and motivate women, all women. We hear of this movement called Black Girls Rock. That's great, but my thing is a little different. I touch people in several different ways. I do community service work. I mentor, I speak, like what I'm doing right now. I do things through the arts. And I also have an apparel line, which is t-shirts, tanks, long sleeves, short sleeves, the whole thing. Why Mr. James asked me to come here is that what I do is a little different than the norm because I'm hungry, right? You do what you do because you're hungry and you're passionate. So I have events that I normally do. And the events are geared to get proceeds to charitable organizations, right? So I've had a clothing drive, a toy drive, and what I have scheduled for this Saturday is a golf tournament. And proceeds in this case will go to kids that are part of programs that help them to learn music, whether it be through reading, writing, playing instruments, and then DJing. There are a lot of talented kids out here in the Atlanta area, and we're just trying to find different things to keep them creatively stimulated and interested and keep them off the streets. We're all of the same kind of background. It looks like we know what it's like. If we're wearing a hoodie like that, that's subject to get stopped. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's a situation and there's an episode. So we want to kind of make sure that our kids are doing and being empowered as best as they possibly can. Now, these are not my kids. These are some people that I believe in what they do, so I've aligned myself with them to make this happen. So that's what I like to do with my brand. I kind of plug and play, if you will, with different organizations that I think are doing something and are about change. This past weekend, I was part of the Alzheimer's Walk. They had it at Atlantic Station, and so that was a fight against Alzheimer's. Again, I like to align myself with things that regardless of race, color, creed, sexual preference, or religion, it impacts all human beings. Even though it's Real Chicks Rock, a lot of men give me more support than the actual women, believe it or not. I don't want to call them board of directors because I'm my own person, but people that mentor me or support me are men. And I want to kind of encourage everybody here to make sure, you check your circle. Like, you're doing things. This is a big step. To go to school, period, is huge. Then to do it at night, it's even bigger. Some of us have jobs during the day, so you work all day. Then you got to get your mind right to be able to turn in your assignment, do your presentation, understand what Mr. James is talking about, and then do homework that comes from this. So this isn't easy. This isn't lightweight. This is a commitment. And what it is you want to be able to take this type of passion and commitment into the various things that you're trying to do, right? So with marketing, I think in most cases, this is what I know. Whatever you market should be an extension of who you are, right? I think when people see what it is that you're presenting, they should immediately kind of associate it with you in some kind of way. When you go to my website, you'll see that there's a logo that I have. It kind of favors me. And I asked the person, my graphics designer, when he did it, do something that looks like me, like a character, like a cartoon character thing. But I'm infamous for wearing my glasses and wearing them on the edge of my nose, like my friend back here in the back. So I tend to, like, these are blue people. It grabs people's attention because they're blue, and I do that all the time. So I wanted something that when people see that, they say, "Hey, that's that Real Chicks Rock thing I've seen," or whatever. So you want to kind of think about things that are an extension of you. Question?
I hadn't met you before, but we have to
Yes.
You had on your shirt, which is your brand.
Yes.
So that's how
Yeah, that's how, thank you so much. And that's how most people kind of point me out. I just came from work and I didn't change. And usually because this is, you know, when we come and speak, we want to look professional. I didn't think wearing a T-shirt is always the best thing to do. I do have on flats, but yeah, I do have on flats. But yeah, I just came from work. But the last time I was here, for those that remembered, I was dressed up as well. But when I'm doing events or if it's a networking opportunity, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be in my shirt because that's my brand. Now, what is cool is I go to events and sometimes I just don't want to be my brand. I just don't. I just want to be Michelle. I don't want to be Real Chicks Rock for the moment. I just want to go out. But what's cool is when people are wearing your stuff. Mm-hmm. I've walked in the room and I've seen 3 or 4 women wearing my T-shirt. That's hot. And I'm like, wow, group picture. Like, you know, you get that and you repurpose that picture. You send it out, you get it out. Because I think that people need to know that it's not just you crazy about what you do, but other people are into what you're doing. And I think it's cool when you walk in and you see that happen and you take those images and you repurpose that and you republish that and you get that out, because then it's like it's not just about me. Nobody wants to see me all the time. People want to see people that look like them or look different than them wearing something that they believe in. So that's the cool part about it. From a marketing perspective, again, think outside the box, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that have been done previously before. But then if you could take it and put your little spin on it, your little edge on it, your little touch on it, that's what you want to do. There's a lot of information out here on the internet. I mean, a long time ago, 30 years ago, we were back to going to the library, picking up newspaper articles or reading books, trying to figure out how do we get something going. Now, if you think of it, you type what you're thinking in a sentence, and it comes up on Google, and you can figure it out, and you can drill. So there's a lot of information on your fingertips to help you get your brand or your information or your event out there. What I was saying before is check your circle of people, right? You want to kind of associate yourself with people that are believing and striving in similar goals like yourself, right? Because negativity you don't have time for. Your day is too full. You got too many things to accomplish. You don't need to hang around people that don't believe in where you're going or who you are. So even if it's something that it's not, at the end of the day, the product is not the same, but they're hungry and thirsty like you, that's what you want to kind of gravitate yourself to. And just get used to the fact that as you grow, as you progress, as you blossom, just like a rocket, pieces of the rocket falls off as it gets higher and higher. So everybody's not going to go where you go. Everybody's not going to understand what you're doing. Everybody's not going to believe in it. But you got a higher power, you hang into that power. That's all you need to do. And as you elevate, you're going to get exactly what you need, because you're going to start to meet different types of people that are doing the same thing that you're believing in doing for yourself. So don't worry about that. It's all about transition. It's about process. It's about change. So you got to be open to do that. Stick to your passion. Another thing I like to always tell people is you have to write things down so people can understand and translate what it is you're trying to do. And nobody's looking for perfection. I think the greatest ideas are just, the greatest things that happen are usually just an idea, right? So write it down, come back, revisit it, build it up, but don't leave it to memory. Because again, it's too much on your mind. You got to remember your whole world is on the internet. You got to log on to this to pay your cable bill. You got to log on to this to pay your cell phone bill. You got to log on to this to register for school. Everything is, you got to commit so many things to memory. Your social security number, sometimes your driver's license, your kids' birthdays, your anniversary, everything, your PIN numbers. You got to remember that. When it comes to what you're trying to build and do, don't take it for granted that you're going to remember it tomorrow. After a good night's sleep, you can't even remember what you had on the day before. Just write it down. Use your phone. Your phone has a recording. You can record stuff. You can take a quick memo on your phone. If you can't get a pad or paper, I saw Mr. James just take a picture of the screen of the notes that he took on the board. You know, so go that way. You know what I mean? Take pictures. Use your tools that you have to help you remember the things that you need to do. Don't leave nothing to chance. Another thing that you might want to consider as well, too, like I said, thinking out of the box, changing the people or allowing yourself to be open to different people coming around you, using the tools that you have, and be consistent. That's another thing, too. Be to thy own self, be true. If this is something you say you want to do, be consistent. Don't lie to yourself. If this is something you want to do, you got to put in the work. Before anybody else can believe in you, you got to work it yourself. If you're looking for money, if you're looking for people to volunteer or just get on board, how committed are you to your own ish? That's real talk. And as serious as you are, those are the nights you're not staying up. Those are the nights you're not going out all the time. Those are the nights you're cutting the TV off. I believe that whatever it is that you're trying to do, you need to touch it every day. I don't think there's a time limit per se, but I think you need to be engaged with your passion, the thing you're trying to market, the event you're trying to build every single day until it's executed. Every day. I don't go to sleep. I do. I have some help now to help me do that. But when I leave here, I got a gang of things to do. I got emails to respond to. I mean, it doesn't stop. I got to thank him for letting me be here today. You know what I mean? You got to extend yourself. You got to make sure you give that customer service effect to things that you need to do the same way you would want it coming back to you.
You should share with them how the first time we met.
Mr. James loves what he does. I had an event at this coffee shop called Urban Grind, and I still do. I had one last Saturday, as a matter of fact. And when I was there, I have, usually what I do, I have two DJs come in. And one is one that has never DJed before, ever, publicly. And the other person is one that has. And the essence of it, what makes it so cool is that the new person that's never done it gets the attention because they're hungry. The other person that's been doing it for a long time, they're the draw, so people come because it's their name. So we come, we network, we socialize, I promote the brand, I push the brand, I'm selling some shirts, I'm pushing CDs, I'm talking about what I do. It's an exchange. Mr. James is in the bag. I see his head moving. So he likes what he's hearing. I go and I check on him. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Welcome to the grind, yeah. And we talk, and he says he's always been here. You know, this is his spot, his little hideaway. He's here, he's doing some work. And I said, well, what are you working on? You know, I'm actually right now, I'm building my syllabus for my class. That's what he does. When I see him out,
House music.
yeah, listen to house music. When I see him out, it's always about class. It's either grading the work or building the syllabus, and he is excited. That was over a year ago, like a year and a half ago. And so now, you know, it's just, so I know how passionate he is about what he does here. He believes in it. And the fact that he does it outside of normal business hours, because that's a Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He could have been doing something else. He was sitting there building his syllabus for students, just trying to keep himself together, be ready, be prepared, keep the twinkle in his eyes, excited, because it's like fresh new minds to mold about hospitality management, about marketing, about sales. That was a year and a half ago. And I didn't think that I would be here, like one of the people that he can count to come and speak to his class. So that's how small the world can be, but it's about presentation. I wouldn't have known what he did if I didn't at least extend myself to him, right? Because he was at my event. It wasn't something, I didn't know him to personally invite him. He was just there. And so one thing led to another. So he did his ice cream social this year. I volunteered. Met some of his students, came and spoke to his students 2 weeks before. They saw me. I was wearing my brand. Hey! We're volunteering in the heat. We sweating. It's hot, but we getting it in. It was a great turnout. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And I made sure that people I knew came out and supported it. So that's how we bridge the gap. So yeah, you have to be able to give that 10 minutes, that 10-second speech that he talked about, 30-second, and then you got to be able to talk about really more past that. Have a conversation. Because when people are interested, you got them. So we talked for like a couple of minutes, right? We was there for a while. And then every time I see him, it's like, I saw him again a couple of months ago. Where you going? I got class. Now he's doing field trips, right? Taking the class out, doing field trips and doing all kinds of stuff. So he is an extension of what he does every day. And you got to be excited about it. I know right now it's heavy because we're trying to learn, and, you know, academics can be tough and working is tough. Like today, the light bulb for me was being here because my job, like, wore me out. Yeah, they're wearing me out, but that's okay. You need that thorn in your side to keep you passionate about the things that give you life. I need that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get comfortable. I don't want them to say, oh, Michelle, you're doing a good job. No, I'm not going for the okie doke. I know there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. And regardless of whether or not they commend me or not, there's a goal I got to get. And so what I'm trying to do is build my brand to a place that I don't have to work for corporate. That's my goal. That's the thing that I go to bed, I pray, I give it to the Most High, I put it to the universe. Help me. What is my route of escape? Because the passion is great, but I'm not at Bank of America enough yet. I got to get there. So corporate America allows me to put gas in my car, put food on my table, get dressed to be here, but my passion is that. That puts a smile on my face. That makes a difference in other people's lives. Every time that I do an event that brings people together, and at the end of the day, the result is something that we can give back to an organization or change a person's life, that's what gives me life. So if nothing else, in whatever you do, make sure it gives you life. Keep it real. When Christ came, he was a carpenter, but that wasn't his life. That wasn't his purpose, right? He was a carpenter for a season. But what he had to do when he got out of here, that was his life. To thy own self be true. Any questions? Comments?
I want to know if you remember me.
Your face looks very familiar.
It's about give back. Think about that.
You're back.
Give back.
Give back.
Give back.
She said give back.
I don't remember.
Atlanta Mission.
That's right. That's right, Miss Pat. Yes. Yes, that's why you had the twinkle in the eye. Hi, Miss Pat. Yeah, I talked about you the last time I spoke. This is Miss Pat. And she works at the Atlanta Mission. And when I came and I spoke before, I talked about how I had a goal and a purpose, but I had to get in somewhere, and I needed to serve. And I served in her kitchen. Every morning, a couple of times a week, if I could, before I went to work. It's a non-speaking role. You just come in there, say good morning. You do it, Miss Pat, what you need me to do? We filled up the pantry. She have trucks coming with stuff. We unloaded the trucks. She said, I haven't been in months. And I reached out to Don, and because I did a school drive and got the school supplies, and I haven't heard from him. He said to me he wanted me to come and teach a little life skills class. Yeah, and he said there was a lot of changes going on. Yes. And I haven't heard. Look at Miss Pat. I'm not used to you without the hairnet. Look at Miss Pat. You here being a student. Well, if you here, who holding it down the street? Huh? Angela got it? God bless you. Look at Miss Pat. That's all right. You see, that world is small. You miss me, huh? Now I need to come next week. I'm going to try to work on it. Okay. It's the corporate life. They got me going in early, and I can't get off and I can't get the time, Miss Pat. I miss y'all. Okay, come on. I want to. Because you need me Mondays and Tuesdays, because everybody comes on the weekends. But the real work is Monday and Tuesday when we take out the garbage from the weekend and the trucks coming in and the bread and everything. I remember. Yes, ma'am. I miss y'all over there.
Okay. I need you on Mondays.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But see, by just being humble, and I said it to the class before, humble and still knowing who you are and what you want to do, you still build a connection. And you don't know how that's going to blossom. So because I worked. I did, I kept my head down. I did what Miss Pat needed to do because that's her kitchen. Word gets back and tells people, hey, what happened to this person? Or at least I have something to leverage and say, hey, Don, I've been working with Miss Pat for a minute. You need me in any other kind of role? And that's what it is. And that's what it is. Right.
So what do you work like? What's your corporate?
My corporate job is a project manager, which I feel like those skills that I have, I need to be using them for what I do. Because with a project manager, you got to plan, you got to coordinate, you have to facilitate, you have to motivate your team to do the work, you got to be clear on what the work is, you have to speak up to executive managers, you got to speak to your peers, you got to communicate all the time. And it's really because it's IT, it's no 9 to 5. Right. So the problem with corporate, if I could just for a little bit on the soapbox, is it's starting to ease in on your life. Private. Right? Your private life. So you get up early in the morning. I live by the airport. I live in Fairburn, right? So I got it, and my job's in Buckhead. I'm not impressed by the location because it don't work for me. So I said, you know what I'm saying? So when I get in my car on a Saturday, from my door to Buckhead is 35 minutes straight with no trouble. It takes me 90 minutes a day in the morning. After my son get on the bus, I got to go. It takes me 90 minutes. When I tell you I'm in my car running a meeting, because the meeting started at 9, I'm nowhere near the office. I can't get there. I got to run the meeting from my car. I'm taking notes because I can't remember everything. Didn't I tell you write everything down? I have to take notes, hurry up, get to the office, type up those notes, get it off, and the day just run. Then on the back end, after I have lunch, I'm looking at the clock to see when I got to get out of here because I got to leave. I got to leave a certain time to get my son. Because anybody that got small children, my son is 8, they're looking at you sideways past 6.
Yeah.
You got to get the baby by 6.
Yeah.
And if you stay longer, they looking like you're going to hit me for the late fee. They calling because real talk, they watch not just your kid, a whole center or after school program full of kids. They want to go home.
Yeah, they be ready to go.
They be ready to go home. My kid don't want to sit down. You think you want to run the show. And so, you understand what I'm saying, Mr. James? So it's a whole bunch of personalities they want to deal with. I have to respect that. I got to get to. That's 5 days a week.
Yep.
So and I can't get promoted. And people tell me, Miss Pat and other people that know me be like, you make a good manager. And those clowns will tell me I don't have what it takes. Well, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. I'm going to take what I've learned. Wherever you are, you take what you can and learn and put it in your skill box, your toolbox. And I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to put it in that brand. Every inch of it. Because I think corporate America works. The framework works.
Yeah.
It's the people sometimes that make it aggravating. They are designed to make money. So why don't we utilize the same framework in our businesses or things that we're trying to do and make it work? Because they're not in the business to lose money. They're in the business to make money. So I believe the framework, it works. The structure, how they teach you about customer service and ethics and being professional and those kind of things, and communication and how you communicate and what you should say, how you should say it, know your audience and understanding and, so those kind of things, those skills is great. You take every one of them, boy, you be a star in your market.
Amen.
And that's all that I've done. I've taken that plus who I am and knowing who I am and I've put it in that.
Amen.
And people want it. That's what I'm saying. You put your touch on stuff. You don't have to reinvent anything because everything's already been done. You can think about it's already been done. You just need to find something that's suitable to you and put a little twist on it. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I think growth is all about evolution. You got to keep growing. So where I was, October will be 3 years I've been doing this thing. So where I was 3 years ago is totally different than where I am now. And it's going to be different than I'm going to be in 2016. Because I'm asking, to Mr. James's point, you got to be hungry for knowledge and just want to learn. There's a level I got to get to. How do I get to it? I don't know how to get to it. It's like a big elephant in the room and we get overwhelmed like we're not doing it all. How do I get to the elephant's toe? Let me get what I can and keep eating it up and keep eating it up and keep eating it up. And that's what you do. Don't let it overwhelm you. You take small pieces of that thing because other people before you have done it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of success stories in our DNA, and we don't tap into that enough. That's another story for another day.
Okay.
Understand? A lot of things that we're using and facilitating and is people that look just like us that did it. So it's in us. We have to tap into it and not be overwhelmed by what we see, but stand on what we know to be true. And at the end of the day, when you've done all you can, you just stand. A little word don't hurt either. You gotta know who you are and whose you belong to. And every little thing that you do, be thankful. That's another thing. Stay humble. Don't get bigger than what you think you are. You stay humble and the people will gravitate to you because they'll like your spirit. They'll just keep, there's something about it. She's so, because you stay humble and thankful and sweet and constant, consistent, and professional.
You just can't let it change you.
Can't let it change
Who
you.
you are.
Can't let it change you. And for those that have children, leave something for your children. Right? Stop sucking it all up. Leave something for your children. Put something in the books that the reason why you were here made a difference in somebody's life. Just don't suck it all up, leave them something, but teach them how to be stewards of what you're leaving them to. How about that? Because you ain't making this money for them to run through it. So they need to know how to manage it. So sometimes you got to take them or sit them down and kind of expose them to the things that you're doing and things that you're learning, because that's what the other cultures do. That's what the Jewish people do, and Middle Eastern people do, and the Asian people do. When we go in there, we get our nails and stuff done. The whole family is in there. And when we got something together, you can't find a person to help you. Turn a piece of chicken on the barbecue. Am I talking right? You can't find, you see what I'm saying? Right. Right?
Yeah,
So sometimes you have to be willing to sow your time into something else, somebody else's vision, and the universe will take care of you when it's time for you. You got to do that. Am I right about that? Yeah.
It's funny you said that, because Val, she always tells me that, and bring Gordon, because Gordon and Marco
Right.
are old.
Yes.
Like, you can bring Gordon, always trying to find excuses. So you sold me on your, because last Saturday my friend came, so that's why we didn't go to the event, playing all.
Right,
And I wanted to support you, and you sold me today. You blessed me today.
And I used that vehicle for Val because it was her birthday and she launched her own lotion, her shea butter and stuff for skin and hair. She gave me a sample 2 weeks ago. I fell in love with it. See how nice that thing is? It's shining, hair's growing, it's cutting down on breakage, and it's her birthday. I said, why don't you bring that to the grind? Invite all your friends. And they can come. You sample, da-da-da-da-da. She got emails. She built a little rapport with some people. I told her her samples was really too big. She was giving away the product too much. I said, you need to make that small. She's too sweet. But you're not going to go to the bank that way. You got to be smart. Because the more you give that big size out, they're not going to come back and buy. You want to give them enough to be like, I ran out. I got to go back and get some more. And so she shrinked her size. She had a table. I told her, get a black tablecloth because it looks more powerful. Your product looks nice on the black. It pops. So I told her, and I said, whatever I can do. And then her and her sister wanted to buy a shirt. I discounted the shirt and told her to take that money and put it back in your business and buy some more product. That's how you recycle the black dollar. That's how you recycle the dollar. Yeah. Recycle that money. If you see somebody that's got something, they about something, and they look like you, sow that money in their business and recycle that money. Because we got a lot of money. We spending it everywhere else. And then we don't have $20 to ourselves. That's a shame. So you see something, somebody doing something, you get it and you recycle. And don't worry about they owe you. They don't owe you nothing. Just trust and believe what you put out comes back to you. Any other questions? I think I've absorbed my time.
Yes, ma'am.
My son is here. He's getting tutored. I had the tutor meet me here to tutor my son in the hallway. And the thing, yeah, you got to be resourceful. I got to still parent and do this. Well, my son needs some math help. I said, tutor, could you meet me here at Atlanta Technical College? I got to speak, and when I'm done, you should be finished tutoring. We all gonna go home. Am I multi-purposing? Real chicks rock all day. Am I multi-purposing? There you go. This is my baby right there. All right. Everybody say hi to Christopher, my son. All right? All right. If there's nothing else, I'm going to leave you nice people alone. But thank you for your time. I enjoyed it. And I'll see some people maybe next semester. Since he teach every class all the time, I'll come back. Is that it? All right.
Don't look like that.
This is it? Mr. James, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.